Emil Frey Racing Ferrari, second place for Mirko Bortolotti, SSR Performance Lamborghini, and third place for Calvin van der Linde, Abt Audi R8. So we can celebrate the 9th difference winner in as many races today. The magic streak in DTM this season continues. We have as I said, the maiden win in DTM for Jack Aitken, first win for the new Ferrari 296, first win for Emil Frey Racing in DTM, first British winner in DTM since Jamie Green 4 years ago. So a lot of debuts today. Congrats, Jack. So how does it feel today during the race?
Yeah, it feels amazing. I mean, since we entered the series, it's been the goal to try and win a race. I think we knew it would be tough with a new car and that maybe the consistency wouldn't be there. We had to learn a lot about the new Ferrari, but they've been great with helping us to develop it and to understand it. And this weekend, we've really been feeling good, and I think finally we got what we've been working for, and we just try to replicate it again tomorrow, but will be really tough. We saw in quali already how close it was, and I think everybody struggled in the heat, especially with the tires, but yeah, so happy.
It looked like a clear sailing for you, so it looked very controlled with 1 to 3 second gap to Mirko during the race. So how tough was it for you to control this distance, this gap?
Yeah, it was very tough. I mean, it was a crucial moment to get past him after the pit stop, which I managed to do when he still had the cold tires. And then I could build a gap while he was fighting with Kelvin, which I was looking in the mirror and smiling a little bit. But then eventually he started to close the gap a bit. And I think I was just trying to manage the tires as much as possible, because it's sometimes not the strength of us that we were very quick to warm up the tires in quali, which is great. But then we can suffer the consequences later. But managed to hold the gap at the end, but it was really, really tough. Yeah.
So Lausitzring, is it a track for you which suits you well? Because last year in GT Masters you finished runner-up in both races. So and then a really great performance today. So it seems you really like this track.
Yeah, I mean it's only the second time I came, but it seems like I go well here. I was frustrated last year. I spun trying to take the lead, so feels like a bit of revenge today to finally get the win here.
Yeah. You had a bit of a roller coaster season, started on a high with a podium in Oschersleben, then had a so-so weekend in Zandvoort, had a weekend, I guess, to forget in Nürnberg, and built back in Nürburgring with a good performance, but bad luck in the pit strategy then. So what brought you back on to the podium?
Nothing special. I mean, like I said, I think it's normal when you have a new car and even a new team that there's a learning process. We had the speed, which we saw immediately in Oschersleben, but we also knew that this was a track where the Ferrari probably would do quite well. And, you know, these ups and downs that you saw are just trying to learn the car. And also, I think, you know, we had some mistakes on my side and for the team as well. So it's not been easy to get to a consistent level, but I think in the last rounds in Nürburgring we showed a good pace, but couldn't get the results. And now we are managing to, you know, do a race mistake-free and capitalize.
Okay, thank you, Jack. Then move over to Mirko. Mirko, after mixed feeling at Nürburgring with a great win and a horrible Sunday, so back on the podium feels good, isn't it?
Yeah, I think it's been a great day for us. I mean, we absolutely maximized what we could do. We squeezed everything out of the car, and then from the team, everything went well, and we made the perfect job today. We knew that it would be difficult to fight, yes, but to beat, let's say, the Ferrari here. So we knew that it's going to be the maximum for us to try and finish second, and that's what we managed to do. And so I'm really happy with the result today.
So during the race, we sometimes listen to your team radio on the TV on ProSieben, and the engineer said back a little bit up, save your tires to attack then Jack in the second part of the race, but that finally didn't work out to catch him.
No. I mean, we were pushing the whole race through, just trying to save it in the middle part of the second stint, in order to try and attack at the end, or maybe, if something else happens, a safety car or something, you can maybe get a chance. But in the end, it was just, a good controlled race by Jack, great pace from them. They also did a perfect job, so we couldn't really do more than what we did, and we can be happy with second place.
It's really hot today here at Lausitzring. It's 30+ degrees. We were even looking for the shades in the pit lane. So how hot was it in the car, and how exhausting was that race mentally?
It was pretty hot, honestly, in the car. One of the hottest races I think that we had so far at this season. Maybe Norrisring was getting close to that, but also, I think today was worse. And it was the last few laps, I was just asking how many laps to go, because I was trying to feel quite the heat in the cockpit. But luckily everything is fine. And but for sure we need to work on some cooling or something, because it's really hot in the car.
So championship leader Thomas Breining had a horrible race today, and finished way back and lost a really big round in the championship. So were you already calculating in the car or speaking to your engineer about the championship positions?
No, there was not much to calculate. I mean, we knew we are pushing full, we're trying to win the race, but if you cannot win the race because there's somebody out there doing a better job, or having, a little bit more pace on that day, you need to accept that maybe second place is the best you can take, and that's what we did today.
After the pit stop, we heard on the team radio you were a bit complaining about Kelvin. So can you talk us a little bit about that?
No, I don't want to comment it. I think you can see it on the pictures, so I don't have to say anything about it.
Okay, then thank you, Mirko. Then moving on to Kelvin. Kelvin, welcome back on the DTM podium. It's been a while. So how happy are you with your performance today?
Yeah, I'm really proud of the whole team. I think we had a lot of races here where we probably should have been on the podium. Thinking back to Norrisring when the steering wheel broke, and Nürburgring where we got taken out in turn 1. So they've been opportunities. We've been quick all year, but just haven't had the luck. And so I'm really proud of the team, proud of my guys for never giving up. They really showed a lot of team spirit, and that's why I think they're going to have a good night's sleep tonight. And then hopefully tomorrow we come back and have another try.
You and also your teammate Ricardo had a good qualifying position, but then you did a little bit of magic after the pit stop. So you passed then Lukiawa during the pits. Can you tell us a little bit about your strategy?
Yeah, I mean, it was the pace was very hot at the front. The first stint, I was struggling to hang on, and we gambled a bit to go aggressive with tire pressures the first stint to see if we could overtake. So I was pretty much overpressured and forced to come in early, which worked out well because the team did a great pit stop, and was able to undercut Lucas, and then could run basically clear for one lap before Mirko came out the box. And then obviously I knew he was on cold tires, and I knew I had to be aggressive for at least 2 laps and try to force him into a mistake. But he was really good at getting the tire into the window to work again, and once the tires were up to temperature for him, I couldn't really hang on, and was just happy to bring the car home P3.
Okay, then thank you, Kelvin. So are there any questions from the floor?
Well done, all three. Just a quick question for all three of you. This year, all three of you have had experience of the highs of motorsport and the real lows of motorsport. Has this season in DTM, how mentally tough has it been, and how character building has it been? I know all of you have had highs and lows in all of your motorsport career, but it seems this year in DTM, you've got to kind of accept it and stay positive because everything's possible.
Yeah, I mean, for us especially, it feels like that way. But when you see that the gap in qualifying for the whole grid is like 7/10, you have to just accept that the level here is much higher in terms of the depth of the field than other series. So if you have a bad day or if you make a mistake, then you're really nowhere. which is great because it's really challenging. So when you get a good result, it means a lot more. But yeah, it's very tough to be at the top all the time.
Yeah, I think in our case we had a really tough start to the season, but it's also, you know, a learning curve for the team. I mean, the team just switched from another brand also to Lamborghini, so there's a lot to learn, a lot to improve, especially at the beginning of the season. We didn't have, you know, all the puzzle together, and we did 2 days of testing and went to the first race, and then we were, you know, facing some issues that took some time to first understand and then fix. So once we managed to go through that process, it went into a much better direction. I think starting from Lausitzring, we can be happy with our season. But for sure, what we managed to bring home in terms of points in the first 2 rounds, Oschersleben and Zandvoort, was absolutely impressive for the issues we were facing.
Yeah, I mean, on my side, I think it just makes the good moments better. You appreciate it more. I think I've had seasons where it's gone really well. You feel like you can do nothing wrong. All the crashes happen away from you. You're never involved. You make all the right strategy calls. Then there's years where everything you seem to do goes wrong. This year we've been in places where no matter where I am on the grid, I get taken out in turn 1. So honestly, it's just you learn to appreciate the good moments. It's part of sports. I think we all go through it. But yeah, I think it's great about DTM. And like Jack said, I think there's so many great drivers here. A lot of respect for everyone and what they're doing. And we're working with such fine margins. Like qualifying this morning, I was personally upset with my job because, I mean, I made a mistake of 300ths in one corner. It would have put me probably 2 places further up on the grid. But, you know, you really beat yourself up about that. And we're talking about 300ths of a second. I don't think anyone in this room can comprehend what that feels like. Yeah, tomorrow's another day. We keep fighting, and hopefully the second half of the season goes better.
Thank you. Any more questions from the floor? Seems not. Then thank you, everybody, and enjoy the rest of your afternoon.